Hello, my name is Leroy Blevins. Welcome to Mysteries and Histories. In this episode here, what I want to do is I want to talk about the clothing on JFK and Governor Connally and even Oswald. Okay. Now, there's a lot of things when I did my research that stand out when I did my research, and it never made no sense to me when I was doing my research. Is the clothing that came from Governor Connally and JFK or even Oswald himself. Okay, first we're going to talk about Oswald because it's a short one. As you see here in this image here, I colorize this. They have Oswald, and you see the jacket that Oswald has on right here. People call it a shirt, whether it's a shirt or a jacket, but I'm just going to call it a jacket. We see this jacket on right here. Now they use this as Oswald being in the doorway, okay, which I don't know if I have that image in this file. Yeah, I do. I have it right here. They claim Oswald had that jacket on in the doorway, so they're proving that, well, see, this is the jacket here, but they don't understand that Oswald did not have this jacket on when he was at the Texas School Book Depository. Okay, that jacket he put on himself when he went back to his boarding house. When he left Texas School Book Depository, he even left his jacket that he wore in there that morning. He left it at work. He left it on the hanger. He left in his T-shirt, okay, or what other outfit he had on, but he did not have this jacket on right here. This image I found on one of the sites, which is a good site to go by. But this is Oswald's jacket here. I think this is from when he was going to auction his jacket off. But this jacket here, he did not have on when he left the Texas School Book Depository. He did not even have it on when he was at the Texas School Book Depository. He placed this on himself when he went back to his boarding house after the assassination. So when people's going to point out Oswald's in the doorway, and they're going to pull this image up here, and I'm going to zoom in, okay, and they're going to say, well, see, this jacket that the man in the doorway's got on is the same jacket Oswald had on when he was picked up by the police officer and stuff, is bogus because the pure fact of Oswald did not have that jacket on when he was at the Texas School Book Depository. That jacket didn't come and play onto Oswald until after he went home, he cleaned up, he changed his shirt, he washed up, put a new clean shirt on, put that jacket on, and he grabbed another jacket as well because his jacket that he took into work that morning was still left at the Texas School Book Depository as well. So when Oswald was done, he took off. Okay, so I wanted to point that out first, that Oswald did not have this jacket or actually this t-shirt on right here. He didn't have this t-shirt on or this jacket on when he was at work that morning in the Texas School Book Depository. The shirt and the jacket stuff didn't come on. Oswald placed it on after he went back to his boarding house and he cleaned up and he changed his shirt, he changed his jacket and everything else. That's when this jacket came into play when he left his boarding house. Okay, so now we cleared that up. Now, we know what really stand out when I was doing my research in JFK assassination was a few things when it come to when I looked at the clothing. Okay, here we got Kennedy's shirt and jacket. How you see right here where it's all cut up because they cut when you go into an emergency room, okay, and you got bullet wounds and stuff. They don't take time to undress you or nothing. They cut that stuff off real quick so they can get to your wounds, okay. But we see Kennedy's jacket all cut up and in pieces basically. And same thing we go for his shirt. It's all cut up and stuff. Even his back brace that he had on that day, that Kennedy had on, they cut up and everything else and took it off of him. Okay, they cut all this up. Okay, even Kennedy's tie, as you see here, they even cut that off of him. Okay, they went ahead and clipped it right there. So when they took it apart, there you go. Okay, they cut that off of him as well. Okay, but now when we look at Governor Conley's suit, okay, now we're going to look at it here. They took, as you see, there's no cut marks on Conley's outfit. There's no cut marks or anything on his shirt. There's none on his pants. There's none on his jacket. Okay, remember, he was shot in the back and a bullet entered and exited his chest area, supposedly went to his arm and ricocheted off his wrist, and then went to his leg and to his inner thigh. Okay, but all we see here is just when they took uh, Governor Conley's clothes off, they took it off of him. It's like they undressed him. They didn't cut off him, they undressed him. And after they undressed him, what did they do with his clothes? They sent him to the laundry room. They sent him and had him laundered. Okay, so they're at the, they had him dry cleaned. Okay, So the only thing we're seeing now on Governor Connolly's suit now is the bullet hole here, the bullet hole here where his jacket is, and then we have the bullet hole right here, which I'll show right here. We have the entry wound and the exit wound, which is up high and then down low right here. Okay, they dry clean his suit. Why? Now, what I don't understand is this. Not only did they tamper with this by washing it and taking off gentle on him, it's like undressing him, but they also tamper with the evidence as well. And the reason why I said they tamper with the evidence, because let's look at the story, okay? Let's look at this. Governor Connolly said he was shot, okay? He felt the blow in his back and stuff, okay? Which we could see that. But people don't understand that Governor Connolly was shot twice. And this can be proven in the Zapruder film, as I point out, okay? We see, okay, this is Governor Connolly being shot in the back. We see the impact of the bullet entering Governor Connolly's back in frame 330 of the Zapruder film. And then also in frame 337, we see there is blood, a bullet hole and blood on Governor Connolly's right side, as you see here in this close-up. Also, when we look at the other photographic evidence, like Governor Connolly's seat, we see there's a bullet hole in Governor Connolly's seat. So this shows that he was actually shot in the right side, because even in this Zapruder film, we can see in frame 245, we can see a pain expression on Governor Connolly's face, and he's going over to the side, because remember, he's looking out to the right, and he's like, he was just shot in the right side. So the Zapruder film shows us him being shot in the right side. We have a seat has a bullet hole in it. We have in the film also, there's a bullet hole and blood on the right side of Governor Connolly, but we're not seeing that on this suit. We're not seeing it on Governor Connolly's suit. When we review over Governor Connolly's suit, all we're seeing is bullet hole in the shirt, in the back and the front, and a bullet hole in the back and front on his suit jacket. That's all we're seeing. We're not even seeing a bullet hole on his inner thigh, where the bullet supposedly entered his inner thigh after it ricocheted off his wrist and went to his inner thigh on his leg. There is not even a bullet hole there. That bullet hole has been replaced. So they fixed that. That's the reason why they took his outfit off of him gently without cutting it up. And this is the reason why they went ahead and sent it to the cleaner, so it could be repaired and take away these other bullet holes, so no one will notice that Governor Connolly was shot more than one time. He was shot twice, okay? Because supposedly when Governor Connolly's hand was up like this, the bullet supposedly entered his back, exited his chest, went to his arm, basically right about here, went up, shot into his wrist, hit his wrist, and then came out, and then hit his inner thigh, okay? But again, as we look at Governor Connolly's outfit, as I'll point out here, which I'm going to zoom in, okay, we see a bullet hole here. We see a bullet hole here. Any bullet holes right on here? Nope, don't see one. You see any bullet holes right here on that inner thigh right here? Let's move in a little bit more. Let's look in this a little bit more. You see any bullet hole in the inner thigh right here on his leg? We don't see no bullet hole. Okay, we don't see no bullet hole right here on his side, as we see in a Zapruder film. We see him in pain in frame 254 of the Zapruder film, because he was just shot and he started moving over when he was looking out to his right. We see in frame 337 where we see a bullet hole on his right side and blood, and we see a bullet hole in Governor Connolly's seat. But we don't see it in the suit now. Okay, we don't even see it on the shirt. We don't see it on his jacket. And we don't even see the bullet hole that's supposedly the bullet where it entered his arm and it came out to his wrist. We don't see no bullet hole there. We don't see no bullet hole in the inner thigh. Okay, so when they actually had Governor Connolly's suit dry cleaned after the assassination, they did some repairs on his suit to cover up the other shots. Because like I just point out, and a lot of researchers don't get this, but these are red flags that point up to me. When I sit there and I look at JFK's shirt, it's all cut up and stuff because they cut it off of him and everything else. His jacket they cut off, his shirt they cut off, his pants they cut off, his tie they cut off, his back brace they cut off. But Governor Connolly, nothing's cut. Jacket ain't cut, shirt ain't cut, tie ain't cut, pants ain't cut up. Even his, which they don't even have it here, even his t-shirt, okay, That's not even cut up. Governor JFK's undershirt was all cut up as well. But do we see it here? We don't even see the undershirt. The undershirt's gone. Okay. But on his suit, like I said, I'm not pointing out, there's no bullet holes on the anywhere on the sleeve where the bullet supposedly went in and came back out his wrist. There's no bullet hole on the inner thigh of his pants. Okay. We're only seeing the two bullet holes, one in the back, one in front. Same as shirt, one in back, one in front. But we don't even see the bullet hole on the side. Okay. We don't see none of this because these was altered. They fixed the suit up and cover up the bullet holes where they cannot be seen no more. This is the reason why they took Governor Connolly's outfit off of him, his suit, his tie, his shirt and everything else. They took it off him gently, took it to dry cleaners, repaired it, the other bullet holes. They repaired them, clean up as much blood as they can off there and stuff. So when they present it as evidence, they're going to say, well, here's that magic bullet theory. The bullet went through Governor Connolly right here. And if you noticed, and a lot of people, again, researchers don't notice this, but I do. And if we look at the back of Governor Connolly's jacket, look how big that bullet hole is. Pretty nice size, big one, ain't it? Okay, now I want to do this. Okay, we're going to shrink that, and we're going to move over here to JFK's jacket, which is right here. Okay, and we're going to zoom in on his bullet hole. Now let's look at this. See this bullet hole right here? This is on the back of Kennedy's jacket now. Look at that bullet hole there. Now let's look at this. Let's do a side by side now. Okay, here's Governor Connolly's. Let's do it this way so we can get this in full view for everybody to see. Here's Governor Connolly's. Look how big that hole is like this. And we look how big the hole is in JFK's. It's smaller. This indicates two different bullets to me. This indicates two different bullets to me because we got a small hole here when it comes into JFK is like about that big. But then when we go to Governor Connolly, it's this big because they said, well, the bullet twisted. Okay, that's another theory that's out there, but it didn't twist it because when a bullet enters somebody's back, it took a look at a big hole. That's inner hole. That's where the bullet entered at, right here. Look how big that is compared to this hole right here in JFK's jacket and Governor Connolly's jacket. Two different types of bullets. Okay, so see, there's a lot of things that send up red flags to me. Okay, that I want to point out. Just like I said, when it comes to, you know, people want to push this issue about altering films and altering images and stuff. But here's evidence that's again in front of us, photographic evidence again in front of us, that doesn't line up as well. We have JFK's complete jacket, shirt, and everything else all cut up in pieces. When you go to emergency room, okay, they're going to cut all this stuff off of you. Even when I went through my surgery, I went to emergency room, they cut my shirt off of me as well. When I had surgery on my stomach, okay, they cut my shirt off of me, okay. They did the same thing as they did to JFK when you go into emergency room. But here we got Governor Connolly's suit, shirt, and all. Not one cut mark on them. Not even the buttons have been ripped off of it, okay. They're fully intact, fully intact. We don't see the bullet hole that's supposedly where the bullet entered Governor Connolly's arm. That's completely gone, okay. And then it exited his wrist. And then the bullet supposedly struck the inner thigh of Governor Connolly in his suit, and his suit does not have no bullet holes on the inner thigh. As you see here, no bullets on the inner thigh, no bullet holes on the sleeve anywhere. Okay, just the two bullet holes we see in the back and right there. So see, they did, when they took these Governor Connolly's suit and shirt to the cleaners, okay, not only they had it cleaned and pressed, as you see here, it's been pressed. They fixed the bullet holes in Governor Connolly's side because Governor Connolly was shot in the right side, because this can be proven by the films and by photographic evidence. And we can see right here that no bullet entered Governor Connolly's thigh as they claim, because there's no bullet holes here and there's no bullet holes in the sleeve. Okay, so they had repair there. So when they repaired it, not only they repaired the bullet hole that was on Governor Connolly's right side, but they also repaired the bullet hole in his sleeve, and they also repaired the bullet hole in his inner thigh of his pants. Okay, these are things that brings up red flags to me when I did my research and when I went over other people's research Why wasn't any of this talked about? Why wasn't any of this stuff shown about, Oswald's, when it pushed the Oswald issue, they're not going to tell you that, hey, wait a minute, this jacket and this t-shirt and stuff he did have on there at work, he got that was placed on Oswald when he went to home and when he went to his boarding house and he got cleaned up and everything else. That's when he put that clean t-shirt on and he put that jacket on, just like when they said, well, we didn't find a gun residue on his hands or on his face. Again, I point out, hey, wait a minute, he went home and he cleaned up and changed his clothes and stuff. He went and got a new jacket on, new shirt and everything else. So he cleaned up while he's at home. That will get rid of that, a lot of that gun residue and everything else off your hands and off your face and everything else. People don't understand it, but it does. Okay. So I just want to point this out and make this video here to let everybody know and point these facts out and show people more evidence that doesn't make sense to me and show people that, hey, there's more to the story than we're being told. Just like I said, no one's never talked about why is JFK's clothes cut up, but Governor Collins is not. Why did they send his clothes to the cleaner for? Governor Collins' clothes to the cleaner, but they didn't send JFK's clothes to the cleaner. Okay, where's these so-called bullet holes that supposedly went into his arm and stuff? Where's that bullet hole? Where's the bullet hole in his pants where supposedly bullet entered his inner thigh? Okay, they're gone. Okay, this what shows me, and this what tells me, just like the bullet hole we see, like I said, in the films, we can see Governor Collins being shot twice, and we see a bullet hole right here on his side, his right side, with blood. That bullet hole's gone. And because we know he was shot there, because when we watch the films and stuff, we see Governor Connolly right here, which I'll zoom in. We see Governor Connolly right here getting shot. We see expression on his face because he's in pain. And we see there's a bullet hole right here on his side, right side with blood and stuff. But they took this out. They went ahead and patched the suit up to where you can't not tell the bullet holes is there or anything else. Because even if you look at Governor Connolly's suit, we don't even see no blood marks. Okay, we don't even see them no more. We don't see no blood stains or anything like that. Just like I showed you the bullet holes in Governor Connolly's jacket and JFK's jacket. There was one bigger than the other. This one's a smaller one. This one's a bigger one. Okay, these are red flags that points up when I start looking over research and I start looking at these films and these images. And when I see a red flag pop up, I'm going to say, wait a minute, what's this? What's this or what's that? Okay, a lot of researchers don't point this out. Just like when they're going to sit there and keep on talking about Oswald being in a doorway, they're going to say, well, see this jacket on? This is the same jacket he had on right here. Okay, this is the same jacket on here. When we know for a fact, because he's even in reports and everything else, this jacket right here, when Oswald went to work that morning, he left his jacket at work. He left with whatever else he had on because he went to his boarding house where he changed clothes, where he changed his shirt, he changed his jacket and everything else. And then he washed up, and then he put this new clean t-shirt on, he put this jacket on, he had another jacket with him, and he took off. Okay? This was put on after the assassination and when he went back to his boarding house. They're not going to tell you that, but it's in my book, Evidence of Conspiracy. That's why I said I point out all this stuff, because a lot of things does not make sense to me when I did my research, and it makes me wonder why didn't no other researcher in the past 50-something years did not bring this out or talked about this. Okay, they'll show you an image or they'll say this or they'll say that, but they never go into detail why they did this or why they did that. Okay, that's why my research is different. They're not going to tell you the whole story. They're going to give you partial of the story. Okay, I'm going to give you the whole story. Okay, I just want to make this video here to put some more stuff out there for people to know about, because Governor Connolly was shot twice. He was shot once in the back and once in the right side. But as I point out here, when I show you the photographic evidence, we can see the bullet holes and blood and everything else. But then when I show you his suit, we can see the bullet holes are covered up. The blood's been completely removed, and how they didn't cut his clothes off. They took his clothes off, but then when it comes to JFK, they cut his clothes off completely. Okay, and then Oswald having a new shirt and new jacket on when he went to his boarding house, that's when he has them clothes and them jackets on. But I want to make this video here so people know this information. So when you start reading research or you start going over other people's research stuff, you would have this information. So when you look at this, you can make your own decisions on whether you want to believe that or not. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Don't forget to like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Share this video so other people know this research, and know about this these facts here, so when they start doing their research on one thing or another, they would know. Thank you and have a pleasant day.